Good morning and welcome to the Wellness Movement. I am Julie with Balanced Life with Julie, and you are watching Spanglish World and her network on Zingo TV channels 250 and 251. Please remember to download the Zingo TV app at your app store. Leave a review. The app is free. Zingo TV is also available on Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire and Fire Sticks, Roku and Roku Sticks on all smart TVs from 2016 forward. So today I have a special guest, Kelsey Matheson, and I wanted to read her bio before we get going. So Kelsey Matheson is an award-winning entrepreneur, success coach, speaker based in Brooklyn, New York. She has built numerous international businesses, including Anamaya Resort, a world-renowned boutique hotel and retreat center in Costa Rica, and Bee Outfitter, a backpack and outdoor gear company that helps provide children around the world with an education. Kelsey has created numerous online programs for women, including the Optimal Health and Conscious Living Academy, a meditation series for success, and a mastermind for female entrepreneurs. She began her career in film and TV, like yours truly, and stage as an actor and producer, which allowed her to combine creativity and business. From there, her journey as an entrepreneur began. Born and raised in Canada, Kelsey and her family moved to New York in 2016, where they spend their time adopting pets, traveling, and taking in everything New York has to offer. Well, there you go. That's a mouthful.
A little bit.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I guess we have some parallels in our universe.
Yeah, definitely. That's why we get on so well.
Yeah, I think so, for sure, for sure. So yeah, I met you because I was in your mastermind.
Yes.
That was how we met.
That's right. Yeah. And I feel like, I don't want to speak for you, but I feel like your business really transformed and thrived during that time together.
Yeah, it's definitely it took shape.
Yeah. Took a lovely shape.
And now it's going some other directions. So yeah, what kind of drew you to entrepreneurship? Because one of the things that I notice, especially with actors and film people, is we have our dreams and sometimes they don't work out. And I see a lot of people that kind of get stuck and they work kind of like these menial jobs, waiting for the next gig and kind of unsatisfied with life. So what drew you to entrepreneurship?
Well, it kind of landed on my lap unexpectedly, but I had always been involved in it, which I didn't realize at the time. But when I was an actor, I was also working for an organization, a nonprofit organization called the First Weekend Club. And I was helping them to grow their business, their nonprofit, across Canada. And I was their representative in Toronto until another friend of ours took over. And so I never had a Joe job as an actor. I was never a waiter. I was acting and modeling, and in between, I would work for this nonprofit organization, the First Weekend Club. And what they did was they helped to promote Canadian film and talent, because our friends to the south, the U.S., have multi-million-dollar budgets to market their films and get advertising on a fast food cup, for example. Whereas the Canadian budgets just didn't have that available to them. So we helped them to get bums in the seats, so to speak. So I gained a lot of knowledge from helping the founder, Anita Adams, to grow that nonprofit organization. And then down the road, I've fallen in love with Costa Rica. I had traveled there multiple times. My husband and I got married there. And I was looking for property. And my real estate agent at the time was telling me that he was starting a new business that was going to be a drug and alcohol rehabilitation center. And I was very curious. We spent the whole day together looking at properties, but between looking at properties while we were driving around, I was kind of picking his brain about this new business he had in mind, and the partners that he was connecting with and partnering up with. So long story short, I ended up becoming an investor in that business. And months later, we decided to actually part ways, not with my real estate agent, but the woman who's going to run the program. We decided she wasn't somebody we wanted to do business with. So my original real estate agent, who's now my business partner, and one of the other initial investors in that, in the rehabilitation center, the three of us got together and we created Anamaya Resort. Mm-hmm. And so Anamaya is it's 11 and a half years old now. And we built that business right after the crash of 2008.
Wow.
So in a down economy. And then from there, my entrepreneurship journey just kind of exploded. I started a yoga clothing company, a backpack company, which we've now sold. We sold last year. It's been an exciting journey.
Mm-hmm. But you've also had this focus on working with women.
Yes.
And helping women, both on the entrepreneur side and the health side.
Yes.
So kind of what drew you to that?
So one of the reasons why I ended up creating my academy, the Optimal Health and Conscious Living Academy, was because after we started Anamaya, well, I'll just kind of go back for a second. So in November of 2009, I had our daughter Maya. And then in December 2009, we opened our doors to Anamaya Resort. And so I was a brand new mom and was running this startup business that simultaneously, which I highly recommend nobody does. Don't do that ever. It's a recipe for burnout. It's not healthy in any way, shape, or form. And I burned myself out big time. And my health, ended up in a bit of a health crisis myself. And I was frustrated because conventional medicine just didn't seem to be helping me for the most part. And I knew what I was experiencing wasn't just, oh, well, you're stressed, or, oh, well, you're getting to that age, or, I wasn't willing to resign myself to that. So I took it upon myself to study the most misdiagnosed and misunderstood areas of women's health. And based on the information, that I gathered, the experts that I spoke to and worked with, who were all women, they were all experts in their field. And then the transformation that I went through, I was like, and it took me about 4 or 5 years, and I'm still continuing to learn. But I was like, I need to truncate this for these women out there who need this, like I needed this. So I created an 8-week program as a part of my academy for women who desperately need support and feel like they're just not getting it, anywhere. And so, so the Optimal Health and Conscious Living Academy was born out of that. And again, I went through my own experience. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm like, well, I'm just going to build I'd never done anything online before. I'm like, well, I'm just going to do it. So I did. So yeah, that was
what did they say? There's a saying, ignorance on fire. Yeah. you just do it.
You don't
know any better. Yeah. That's and right. In hindsight, you go, yeah, don't have a baby and start a business at the same time.
No, don't do that. Yeah. Unless maybe you have like a team of people, that can help you and support you, and you can afford to have that kind of team, it takes a village. But I find that that's not the case for most of us.
Yeah. We don't have I just finished. So my guilty pleasure while I've been in California is I've been watching episodes of The Crown.
Oh, yes. We don't have that life.
I don't normally binge watch TV. I normally watch like a movie on a Friday or Saturday night, and that's kind of it. Like I don't watch TV. And so I only watched it because I'm here and it's more downtime than work. And so I thought, oh, why not? I'm just going to watch I'm just going to finish off the episodes of The Crown. But yeah, it definitely, most of us do not have an army of butlers and maids and people to hand off the day-to-day chores to. Although I have been a little bit spoiled where I am. Like someone, you know, now that my water fast is done, someone making me meals 3 times a day, doing my laundry, like, I don't know if I can go back to the real world.
That's kind of heavenly. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm that interested.
Yeah. And look, we all get to a point where if we're building our businesses, you know, to a certain point where we can afford help. You know, I have somebody, you know, to help me clean. And if I want, and even like, you know, food, like there's a lot of food delivery, like pre-made, you know, food services now. And I mean, you can even hire somebody to walk your dog if you want to. I prefer to walk mine, but you know, so you can get to a point where there are people who can help you, but typically, especially when you're starting, you're you know, it's a lot of hard work. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that goes into building a business. I'm not going to lie. You know, I've built numerous businesses now. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, yeah. And so, do you still work privately with female entrepreneurs?
Yeah. So, what happened was I ended up having a lot of women who were coming to me saying, I want to learn more about what you do. And look, I've built multi-million-dollar businesses, and I've also built total flops over the years, right? And everything in between. But I found that a lot of women were coming to me, and mostly women who were like, I want to start my own business, or I want to take my business to the next level. And they were like, how do you do it? How should I scale? What do I do? Or they'd be like, I know I'm blocked. I'm suffering from imposter syndrome, or I have some block that is keeping me stuck. How do I move past that? And so because of these women that were coming to me, I decided to become a coach for female entrepreneurs. So I do one-on-one coaching. I'm very limited with my time, so I only take on a few one-on-one clients. And then I created the mastermind for female entrepreneurs specifically because then I could work with a group of women, and I don't run that anymore. But but you were a part of that mastermind, and now I consider you one of my dearest friends. So I do work with women one-on-one, and look, building a business, but also taking care of your health, it's intimately connected. So, depending on what the goals of the entrepreneurs are, we work on what's important to you and where you are now or where you want to go, and we strategize to get you there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you know me, I'm like maybe personally biased, but I think health is kind of the be all and the end all. Yeah. I don't see how it's possible for anyone to really succeed in life if they don't have their health intact.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, you can have piles and piles of money, but if you're feeling miserable in your physical body, then that's very challenging, you know.
Yeah.
So
incredibly.
Yeah, and then we got to work together because you decided you wanted to do the ultimate last year.
I did. I did the ultimate transformation last year, and I actually might do it again next month. I'm not sure if you're running a group again soon. I know I can do it on my own, but it's always fun doing it with a group. But
yeah, there is a group starting up. Yeah.
Oh, great. All right. Well, let me know the info look, I was curious to try it because I've tried a lot of these programs. I've tried cleanses. I've done exercise challenges, 75 hard. I've done all of them. And I feel like it's kind of my responsibility to try a lot of them because of my Optimal Health Academy, right? And to know what's out there and to just experience it for myself of what it's like. And what really piqued my interest about your program was just listening to you speak about how clean the products are, right? And the fact that Purium is very focused on reducing plastic waste and being a very sustainable company, which I love. And also, we had another woman who was a part of my mastermind who did the 30-day
Oh, right.
transformation,
Yes.
right? And she had incredible results, and she loved it so much that she ended up starting, like, she works now. She's a part of the company. Like, she's working with the company herself. I mean, there's really no better testimonial than that. So,
Yeah.
really, so yeah, so I signed up and I loved it.
Yeah. You were kind of like, I was like, oh my God, if everybody could be this on it, like, because you had everything organized and scheduled, and I was like, oh my God, like, I just need 100 people like this. It would be amazing. Everybody would get amazing results, because that's my thing, is I love it. I always say I love a great transformation, and I love it when people get to connect with their health on another level. And like you, I'm always like researching and looking and trying things out. That's why I've been at True North Health Center for the past 3 weeks, because I wanted to see, okay, what else is possible. And and I kind of feel like it is part of my job to try these things for myself before I share about them to others, and hopefully it piques their interest as well, that they're willing to dive deeper, like, especially these days. Like, there's such you know, I've maybe looked at this whole year probably differently than a lot of other people. I'm like, okay, you're forced to slow down. You can really prioritize your health, you know?
Yeah.
If you're not sitting in traffic, like in Toronto, there's people who commute 2-3 hours a day.
No.
You know?
Yeah. In New York here as well, there's, like, before all of this, they're sitting on a subway and taking a bus and, heading into, there's a lot of time spent just commuting.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's time that you don't get to move your body. That's time that, you maybe would have time to cook yourself a healthy meal, but you get home and you're tired, and you end up doing the thing that's easy and cheap, right? I actually met a woman here, and I can't remember where she's from exactly, but she's been coming to True North for the last 2 years. And I asked her, I said, like, off and on, like, she'll do a fast and then she'll go home and integrate, and then she'll come back. And I said, well, how much did you weigh when you came here? And she said, when I started, she said she was 415 pounds.
Wow.
Yes. And I
where
asked
is she at now?
She's under 200. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. And I asked her, I said, what were you doing? See, here's the thing. People are very open here about sharing their story and their health struggles, which I love. And I just asked her, I said, what were you doing? Like, she's like, I was eating fast food. I'd work all day sitting at a desk. I'd come home at the end of the night. I'm tired. I'd just go through drive-through and eat fast food. And
amazing.
Yeah. And in her case and her brother's case, they got the stomach band surgery, and both of them had those bands burst on them.
Oh dear.
Well, I also like sharing her story, because a lot of times people think that, oh, I'm going to take a shortcut. I'm going to take this magic thing. And it's like, in the end, the thing that saved her life was changing her food, her eating, and her lifestyle habits.
Yeah.
There's no shortcut to success, right?
Yeah, there's no magic pill.
No. And you can attest to that on the health side and on the business side, right? Like,
yeah, absolutely. There is no magic pill, but I think, or I should say, and what I love is that there are success leaves clues, right? So there are mentors or facilities. You're a nutritional coach, right? I'm a success coach. And then there's places like True North that you can go to get help. And to help, at least it's not a magic pill, but at least it can, our experience and our knowledge that, I've been an entrepreneur for over 20 years. I was an entrepreneur before anybody really knew what that word was. Like, my mom was like, what is it that you're doing? Can you go get a real job? Like, now she gets it. She's like, oh, okay. She walks into, she goes to Anamaya and she's like, oh my gosh, you own this? I'm like, yeah, well, that's what I was doing, Mom. but again, like, so it took it took me over 20 years of making mistakes, of, trial and error and doing all the things. Also with my health, right? It took a long time for me to work with these experts and what worked for me, what didn't, what did I learn? And then I can pass that on to somebody else who's like, okay, I feel stuck. I feel stuck with my health, or I feel stuck with my business. I don't really know where to begin or what to do. Because it's not there's no magic pill, but it's also, there's no such thing as a one size fits all. And I think that's really important to mention as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And I do tell people that if you're not, especially on the health side, if you're not 100%, don't give up. Like, keep looking. Keep looking, because there's something out there that's going to work. I mean, usually though, overall, I kind of tell people that, if you start with like nutrition and lifestyle, you're going to start to feel difference. And then you're going to add stuff like over time. A lot of times people just get frustrated and they want it like yesterday. It's like, you didn't get to where you are overnight. You got there over a period of like decision by decision, over a period of months, years, and decades. So you have to have that same level of patience to undo whatever it was that you've created, right?
Yeah, mentally and emotionally and physically.
Yeah, for sure. And spiritually too. Yeah. That's a component that not a lot of people talk about or mention, and that is also a piece. Like, you're on a soul's journey,
That's right.
Uncomfortable as it is sometimes.
Yeah. As it should be. That's how we transform. That's how we change, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So like, there's programs starting back up at Anamaya, right?
Yes. So we have survived this global pandemic. It was a little scary when we had to shut down in March for a few months. And, we have 35 to 40 staff that we were very worried about and wanting to make sure that they were taken care of. And that's actually one of the reasons why I canceled the mastermind, was because I really just needed to focus everything. It was almost like having a startup again. It was working, very long hours again, like we were in the beginning, just to make sure that we could keep our retreat center alive and our staff taken care of. And we did that. And now Costa Rica is open. Sorry, I have seasonal allergies drive me crazy. So we're open. We do yoga, like week-long retreats, and which you can do yoga, but you don't have to. So you can just go for a wellness retreat. You could go for an adventure retreat. Like, you could do surfing and horseback riding, and you could do all those things. You could just go to sit in a hammock and read and take in all the, the natural beauty and breathe in that fresh sea air. But a lot of the people who do come to Anamaya practice yoga daily. And we have two beautiful yoga decks that overlook the ocean. It's pretty stunning and epic. We also do yoga teacher trainings, and then we host. Now we're also open as a boutique hotel now for the first time in our 11 years of history. Because of COVID, we had to pivot, and so now we're also a boutique hotel. So
nice. And how can people find you?
Yeah, so Anamaya.com, 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 or for me, it's KelseyMatheson.com. That's my personal website.
Yeah, and I've seen the pictures and the videos from Anamaya. It looks divine. You were organizing a retreat there, and then everything got shut down. So I'm hoping that you're going to organize another retreat, and I can go.
Absolutely. It was like an unleash, an unleashed retreat for women, really, to just unleash their power, unleash their inner wisdom. So it was going to be April last year. We're going to reschedule it, and all the information will be on the Anamaya website, and also my website when we do.
For sure. So definitely, if you want a heavenly retreat, check out Anamaya. Check out Kelsey and what she's up to as well. So thank you so much for joining me this morning. It was amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. And all right, this show can be heard on Spanglish Radio Network. Her network is part of Spanglish World Media. Please check out spanglishworld.ca for all the news and programming. Spanglish World. Watch it, hear it, read it, download it, and live it. Thank you. I was like, well, whose outro is that? All right.
Sorry.
That's okay, Eduardo.
It clicked.